Latoria really hopes the weather holds out. Building these scaffolds certainly beats digging for a change.
I can hardly believe what you found here. It's quite interesting indeed.
Latoria thinks that something other than time and neglect caused the descent of the snow elven structures.
Let's move faster. The sun is...
I believe everyone is rather excited, myself especially.
I think we're in pretty good shape for supplies. It's really amazing to think that a snow elf ruin has been down there, under the fort, all this time. I often wish I could do more than simply supporting the others. Oh well, I suppose we all have an important role to play. I've got a little of everything you'll need for your next expedition.
Oh, we're getting there. There's a lot of wood to chop for building a scaffold. Those are some impressive ruins down there. I'd hate to fall off into that pit though. Watch your footing in there.
What? Nah!
Ah, wonderful. You're here. This is quite a fantastic find, I must say. And you said that snow elf inspector guided you here? Yes, I noticed that passage. We're working towards building the scaffolding up towards there, but it may take a while. We've made little progress already, so feel free to investigate anything that is accessible. But do be careful. We haven't built the scaffold to the cavern base yet, so if you fall, you may survive due to the water, but you'll likely not get back up. Oh, yes, indeed. We've completed the scaffold and have been studying the architecture with mixed returns. There is also a sealed chest on that central column under the arch, which is locked tight and we haven't been able to open it. Perhaps you could have a crack at it.
Come up and Latoria will show you. You must come up here. Latoria has figured it out, Professor Marassi.
Ah, splendid. I'll be right up.
This dais is somehow linked to the barrier magically.
That is all. Perhaps you could have a crack.
What? Nah!
Come up and Latoria will show you. You must come up here. Latoria has figured it out, Professor Marassi.
Ah, splendid. I'll be right up.
What? Nah!
Isn't this exciting? We found this book here, protected by this magical barrier. But Latoria hasn't been able to break through it. But then Latoria discovered this. This dais is somehow linked to the barrier magically. It also is obviously missing something.
Yes, whatever was on here has something to do with the barrier. Rocks came crashing down and smashed the dais, sending whatever was here flying off. Our theory is that the barrier activated when the object was knocked off.
Wonderful news. That's great to hear. Perhaps what we need was merely knocked off and could still be in the area. Hopefully it wasn't carried off anywhere. Let's have a look around in the chamber and see if we can find anything. You too, Guildmaster.
Ah, good eye, Guildmaster. I bet that will probably do the trick.
That did it! Amazing! I'll have to double-check with Aryan, but I believe that must be a shrine to Fanaster. Let's have a look at the book, shall we? Yes, I can see that, but it does have some curious tally marks on the back here. I wonder what that is all about. I have no idea. I suppose there undoubtedly are clues in the context of the book, but we'll have to translate it first. I suppose a trip back to ᵯᴑᴆᴆᴇᴆ is in order. Perhaps with his help we could...
Oh my.
What in the... That sounds like Falmer.
Look up there. Oh dear, there must be dozens of them. Silence! How dare you defile this place with your presence? These hallowed halls are all that remains of our once proud people.
By the gods, he just spoke.
Your presence here is a blasphemy and has corrupted this place. A sin only cleansed by destruction. Kill them.
They're coming from above and below. You take care of the ones coming up from the entrance.
See you around.
Good day, Guildmaster. Oh, it's sad about ᵯᴑᴆᴆᴇᴆ. You might consider Kaya for the job, though. He's been studying up a storm in recent weeks. He might surprise you. We'll bounce back eventually. We always do. Good luck out there.
Ah, good. You're finally coming around. We are back at the guild house, safe and sound. You've been out for nearly a week. We were starting to doubt you were ever going to come around. Yes, you took a rather nasty knock on the head. When icecreamassassin attacked the ruins, their leader brought down the whole cavern on itself. We barely got out. Well, sadly no. Professor ᵯᴑᴆᴆᴇᴆ, he didn't make it out. We dug for days, but couldn't find any sign of him, but part of his coat and the tools he had. Yes, we've all been a bit taken back by it, but I think Arian has taken it the hardest, being long-time friends and colleagues and all. That's good, he'd appreciate that. I'm glad you're back with us, Guildmaster.
What time is it? I haven't seen the sky all day. Yes? What is... It's such a shame about Patero. I'm really going to miss him. ᵯᴑᴆᴆ and I would get into these heated debates about the Dwemer and their downfall. I always end up fuming, and he'd end up laughing. I'm gonna miss that. Farewell.
How is the day treating you?
Yes?
Arian has taken ᵯᴑᴆ's death very hard. Harder than Latoria, she thinks. Farewell.
Greetings. Oh, I'm doing all right, all things considered. Glad you are feeling better. Yes, it is a terrible loss. He was a good colleague and a good friend. He will be sorely missed. His knowledge was rare and will be a loss to us all. No, I really haven't, to be honest. I suppose I'll just leave it up to you if you don't mind. I appreciate it, my friend. I'll be all right. What time is it? I haven't seen the sky all day.
Wonderful day, is it not?
Something you need?
How is the day treating you? ᵯᴑᴆ was always kind to Latoria. He always encouraged her. Latoria will miss him. Latoria was so near ᵯᴑᴆ when the rocks fell. She tried to reach him, but the scaffold gave out. It was all she could do to escape herself. Latoria? The chief? You are a funny guildmaster. Oh, you're serious? No. Latoria couldn't possibly. But thank you for thinking of her. Happy hunting.
Hi there.
Yes? What is it?
Me? Heavens no. I've had my hands full enough already. Plus, I don't think I could step away from my Dwemer studies long enough to plan a dig. Thanks for the thought, though.
Fantastic, then.
Hello. What do you need? Oh, it's sad about ᵯᴑᴆᴆᴇᴆ. You might consider Kaya for the job, though. He's been studying up a storm in recent weeks. He might surprise you. Have a good one.
Wonderful day, is it not?
Something you need? I remember at Windcaller Pass, ᵯᴑᴆ took all the heads off my pickaxes and hid them from me. He got everyone to make believe that they were still on the handles. I'm gonna miss that old fool. Me? The chief? Well, I don't know. I have been hitting the books pretty hard lately, but I still don't know nearly as much as ᵯᴑᴆ did. Well, thanks for your vote of confidence. Well, I suppose if no one is against it, I'd be happy to give it my best. Sure.
Oh, very good for you, Kyer.
Ah, yes. Good choice, my friend. Patero would be proud.
Thanks, everyone. I just hope I didn't go and muck it up too badly.
Nonsense. You have come a long way since you started with the guild as a mere digger. And you've put in many a long hour with me in the library, broadening your knowledge. ᵯᴑᴆ would be most pleased. I couldn't think of a better successor.
Well, thanks. As long as I have the rest of you to back me up, I'm sure I will continue to do great things.
Hear, hear.
Very good.
Well then, back to business, I suppose. Well, Guildmaster, I think we should continue onward and not dwell on our losses. What do you say? All right. Yes? ᵯᴑᴆ is going to be sorely missed around here, I can tell you. As gruff as he seemed on the surface, he was always very encouraging. See you around.
Good day. After things settle back down a bit, I think a fitting tribute to Professor ᵯᴑᴆ would be in order. It was very nice to have Patero around to confer with about things.
See you around.
How is your day faring? I've got a little of everything you'll need for your next expedition. Good luck out there.
Wonderful day, is it not? Good day, Guildmaster.
Something you need? Well, it obviously has prophetic overtones of a savior called the Deathweaver, rising up to redeem the Falmer and conquer the world of men. Obviously, the Falmer really know how to hold a grudge, but who can blame them? From what I've read lately, they really got the shite end of the stick. Malak, though. Why does that name sound familiar? Alright, thank you. It's another name for Malakath, Daedric Prince of the Forsaken, Spurned, and Unfavourable. So it may seem that these snow elves might be worshipping Malakath?
That is an interesting connection, but I think it goes even deeper than that, depending on what school of thought you prescribe to. Malakath is regarded as the fallen form of Trinimac, and Trinimac is one of the 4 demigods revered by the snow elves. Those who think they are one and the same believe that Trinimac was consumed by Boethia and warped into the form of Malakath.
So then, if these Falmer are in fact worshipping Trinimac, they would likely be doing so from a temple devoted to him, right?
Presumably so, especially since they went out of their way to interfere with the excavation at Fort Greenwall. That would suggest they are still strict followers of the old beliefs in some form or another. We'll do some more research and hopefully we'll be able to uncover a location of a shrine to Trinimac here in Skyrim.
Hi there. Yes? Alright.
See you around.
I've been looking for you. Got something I'm supposed to deliver. Your hands only. Let's see here. Looks like that's it. Got to go.
You know you can afford a septim or two.
It's so bright out.
We're making some good headway, but Kaya could always use another set of hands. Good food, good drink, soft, warm bedrolls. That's the key to keeping a work crew happy.
Rocks and dirt and rocks. Natoria can hardly wait until she finds something other than this.
I really wish Egelman had come along. He could get back behind some of these larger rocks and wiggle them loose. But he said he had better things to do than digging in the dirt.
This site shows real promise. Without Kaya's know-how about geology, I never would have realized there had been a landslide here. I can hardly wait to see what awaits us inside. We should be cautious, however.
We're really building some momentum here. Of course, we could always use another hand. Just have to remember to pace ourselves. We wouldn't want to have a nasty accident. It's always exciting to be digging and then come across a bit of carved stone or a fragment of pottery. Really lets you know you're on the right track. Oh, fantastic. Glad you caught up with us. We're going to need all the help we can get. Arian and I managed to find some references in some books at the library and narrow down the location to this place here. Arian mostly. Issue is, the temple was completely covered in a landslide ages ago, and we're gonna have to dig. A lot. Jump on in. We're already well underway and can use your help.
Let's move faster. The sun is... It's not great for my skin, if you know what I mean.
Oh, yes it was. But we're making some great headway. And look, there's some remains of Snow Elven architecture here. I think we're on the right track. Oh, let's get some rest though, and start back to work on it again tomorrow. Well rested? I think we're ready as well. Let's get back to it. I think we're almost there. Oh my, we've done it! You were right, Arian. This has to be the place.
Well, let's have a look then. But let's be careful. This is in fact where that Tulrin Deathweaver character is held up with his clan of Falmer. We could be in great danger. Let's proceed carefully. There's no telling what we might encounter in there.
Too right you are. All right, Guildmaster. You lead the way. We're right behind you.
Oh my, look at that. Looks like we're on the right track, no?
Oh my, look there. The temple is down there.
Careful there. To the left. Falmer!
Someone's there. Oh, I heard something. Where'd you come from?
Somewhere remains.
We made it! But what's that there? That's fascinating. It appears to be a slot of some sort, probably for the placement of something that will likely unlock the door.
That very well could be. There doesn't appear to be any way to unlock the door manually. Looks like the mechanism is tied to the dais.
This is interesting. I did bring a number of artifacts along in case we needed to study them along the way, but I hadn't anticipated this. Seems that this door must be bound and opened by a specific artifact. Well, obviously Trinimac would have something to do with the artifact, considering this is his temple. But Trinimac had not been known to have crafted a namesake relic, like Finaster or ᵯᴑᴆᴆᴇᴆ had, so I am unsure. Trinimac was regarded as the champion of Ariel, the warrior spirit of the Snow Elven people.
The Snow Prince. If Trinimac was the warrior god, surely the Snow Prince must have been a devout worshipper.
Oh yes, excellent thinking, Kaya. I did bring the spear along from the museum, in fact. Here, Guildmaster, see if it works to open the door. Excellent work, Guildmaster.
That seems to have done it.
Let's press onward, but do be careful. It's likely to get more dangerous ahead.
Who's there?
My brethren, the time is nigh to emerge from the shadows, to cast off the chains of our enemies. Ariel and his ilk have forsaken us, save but one, Trinimac, for he too was deceived and cast down into darkness, to be reborn in a twisted form as we have. And through him, through Malak, we will have our revenge. Though the true instigators of our demise are now beyond our reach. Those who drove us to their doorstep are still dwelling above. Malak has blessed me with the voice which now falls upon your ears, and sight to see the way to our victory. Gifts lost long ago. He has also blessed us with a great boon, the tool with which we shall exact our revenge on the overworld dwellers above. A vision of temple in the ice, venerating his brethren, which holds the Ned Crescent blade of treachery. With this weapon, we shall wreak havoc, and the world of men shall burn. We once again have interlopers present here. Do not allow them to leave this place alive.
Really something.
I can't believe he just up and vanished into thin air like that.
This isn't any normal Falmer we're dealing with here. A Daedric lackey this one is. Yes, it's as Kaya and I had feared. They are indeed worshipping some form of Malakath or Trinimac. And they aim to use whatever powers they have been given in order to attack the surface.
Yes, and with the kind of power we've seen from them, Tolrin could cause a great deal of havoc, especially with war weakening everyone.
That's a good point. Maybe we should warn the Jarls.
Unfortunately, I fear there is no time for that. even if we all split up and went to different holds. I fear their forces have been stretched too thin, as you suggest. Plus, there is the added concern that the Ned Crescent is apparently involved.
Ned Crescent? Isn't that some artifact made by Sheogorath?
Ah, you've been reading more, I see. Yes, and not just the artifact either. The Ned Crescent is known to be the Blade of Treachery. It was created by Sheogorath and given to Malacath as a trick. The blade forces the wielder into a bloodthirsty rampage, attacking friend and foe. Malacath beheaded his own son with the sword. Afterwards, however, Sheogorath reclaimed the blade. So it's rather curious that Malok would be sending Tulrin to claim the blade. It's almost as if the twice-spurned Falmer are being played by some other force, or Malok has some other plan for the blade. It does make me curious as to how the blade fell into the hands of the Snow Elves.
So what's the harm in him finding the blade? Wouldn't he be just as likely to attack his own people? And it's only one blade after all.
Yes, the repercussions of using the blade in battle are not what concerns me, though it makes the wielder fearsome in its own right. It also has the ability to sway people into acts of conquest and domination. Were Tulrin to bestow the blade upon a Jarl, for instance,
And that Jarl might wage war with the others.
And depending on which Jarl it's given to, could result in a pretty significant problem.
Well, how do we stop him in time?
well, luckily from his speech, it sounds like they don't have the blade yet, and possibly do not know specifically where it is. So that gives us time to research it and uncover the location of the blade, find the sword, and either safeguard or destroy it if possible. Though the latter is highly unlikely. I seem to remember you mentioning something about the Forgotten Vale, a snow elven ruin looming over the glacial crevice. Perhaps that might be a good place to start.
What?